Hey traders, checking in on the cryptocurrency space. Bulls trying to hold on into the weekend, but it seems like we're getting a bit tired. Might be time for some daily consolidation. I'll show you why I am saying that and what we're looking for when that daily consolidation begins. So the daily time frame, we had an inside bar bull break and we're ending with a big upper wick. That's reason number one that the bulls are looking a little bit tired. Whenever you see an inside bar break bullish, you want to see follow through. And we broke bullish by about 0.5%. And then pulled back fairly significantly. So aggressive bears are scouting for entries right now, looking for an hourly lower high to be the result of this bounce. And if we see an hourly downtrend confirmed with a bear break of 54,000, we will be losing the 4-hour EMA 12 for the first time in a few days, and we'll be looking for daily consolidation. And again, this daily consolidation would not be surprising, and it would not be a red flag because we just ran up a significant amount from our last consolidation. We'd be looking for a daily high or low. Where I stand right now, I've got my swing position that I'm comfortable with, and of course my long-term no touch. And the next trade that I'm interested in is looking for an hourly oversold bounce. So if we see hourly RSI over the weekend drop towards oversold conditions, that will mean daily consolidation is underway. And at that point, we will be scouting a daily high or low. And I like to scout for daily high or lows in hourly oversold conditions coming off of notable bull moves. And last week was certainly a notable bull move for Bitcoin. If the bulls are going to disregard the signs of weakness and just tiring bulls, it's not weakness, it's just bulls needing a breather. But if we're going to negate that, we need a new high over 56,000. We need to keep the 4-hour EMA 12. And that means the bulls need to show up pretty much right now to hold that 4-hour EMA 12. So I've been watching the dominance chart that has broken bullish from its equilibrium, which means zoom out, and we are scouting a weekly lower high, anything under 49.16, which would have us remain within a tightening range if we were unable to get over that level. We can trade within this range for months. It's a pretty wide range. We've already been within it for months at this point. How many? We're on our 5th month. But what I'm looking at it for, and the clues that I look, if you've been watching this channel, you know that we like to look for alts that have the USD and the BTC pairing directly correlated in what we call the spotlight on bull moves. That shows us when we have the most strength. It's the same thing for Bitcoin in the dominance chart. And there have been periods in the past couple days where they have been directly correlated. And the bull breaks, this run up here on October 6th for the dominance chart was a ton of strength while the Bitcoin US dollar chart was running up. But now we have a difference. The difference is the US dollar pairing hit a higher high on the 4-hour. The dominance chart did not come close. So what is the dominance chart showing us while we're pulling back here? It's showing us that Bitcoin is trading fairly sideways on the 4-hour and the dominance chart is dropping, which shows us altcoins are catching up. If we see Bitcoin enter daily consolidation, I would expect a bounce on this chart because that would then show us that the altcoins are dropping a bit faster. But again, it's the strongest Bitcoin is comparative to everybody in the crypto space is when both the dominance chart and the US dollar pairing are both going up at the same time. And right now, we're seeing that dominance tighten up, but this drop over the last 24 hours plus has shown us altcoins getting a bit of rotation. ETH, we've got 36.76 resistance. That is still resistance. We have not broken that level. And if we were to see Bitcoin start daily consolidation, we would reject from this resistance. The 4-hour time frame here, again, it's getting a little bit toppy. You just see these upper wicks showing bulls get a little tired. It looks like a rising wedge. Rising wedge is when bull breaks start to lack follow through. I could put an uptrend line right here. I could also start it from this lower point, although not as many touches there. I don't like that one. We're going to stick with where it was. So keeping an eye on this channel. If this channel breaks bear, shaping up for daily consolidation. And we'll scout anything above 33.42 as a daily high or low, but we have to keep the bigger picture in mind. And the bigger picture is have to be cautious of a weekly lower high. It is possible that we trade within a weekly tightening range for Ethereum for another few weeks. That resistance level of $4,030 is still about 13% away from where we stand right now. Watching the ETH BTC chart, that has been weak. Daily inside bar at the moment as the bulls attempt a 4-hour trend change. It's just a 4-hour equilibrium shaping up. Lower high set. So if this 4-hour breaks bull, we zoom out, we scout a daily lower high to be the result of that bounce. And keep in mind the bigger picture here, we are scouting a higher low compared to 552. So again, high, low, lower high, scouting a bigger picture, higher low. It may take a couple weeks to form, but anticipating that we remain within a tightening range here towards the end of the year. And of course, the Ethereum bulls would love to see that set. The sooner the better, because Bitcoin already broke to a weekly higher high, but Ethereum's still a ways away. AXS USDT. So a little bit of a fake out here. There was a nice short-term entry opportunity, inside bar bull break, and a bottom fish. Look at this base of support down at 119.22. So there's just a ton of touches of support. Looking at it from the hourly perspective, here is that support line. And you can see we just held it by less than $1, and then a little higher low. The bull break only lasted 2 hours. So again, short-lived, 10% plus move. So very worthwhile, but bulls needed to lock that in quickly. The bull break was 131.20 of the daily inside bar. So we got about 5% follow through from the inside bar bull break signal. And again, better risk reward from playing off of support, but definitely a red flag to reject from 141 here. Unable to break that resistance. And now we're possibly losing the daily uptrend, because as far as I'm concerned, that was a daily higher low being set from the high. We made a bull move back up, and now we're close to breaking our support. Not close, but we're approaching it. So if we break 119.22 from here, I do consider that a daily lower high and lower low, and we would then be shaping up for the potential of weekly consolidation to be underway again. So definitely a bit of a red flag, and the BTC pairing is doing the exact same thing. And it is shaping up for potential weekly consolidation, coming back down towards our base of support and creating a lot of space for an hourly lower high as well next time we bounce. I would call anything under 139 just an hourly lower high next bounce. So bears regaining control after a solid 2-hour bull move. Sol USDT, watching for a weekly lower high. In my opinion, that is the more likely scenario because of the size of the pullback, the amount of the retracement, and the amount of the bull move that would be required to head straight to a higher high, 86%. So currently a weekly inside bar potentially forming with 2 more days to go. The daily higher lows are our guide. When we lose the daily higher lows, our weekly lower high is likely being set. So if we fail 177.79 resistance and drop down and break 150 support, the weekly lower high is likely shaping up. So we're in a standpoint right now with Bitcoin bulls looking a little bit tired and some of these charts setting up for potential weekly lower highs where aggressive bears are scouting entries and bulls looking to hedge are scouting entries. So again, say I've got a Sol longer term position that I'm holding as long as there is a weekly uptrend. So we're not close to breaking 116, so I'm not close to selling this long-term position. But I could enter a hedge if I short Sol at 162 and I put a stop above 178. Yes, if we get a bull break, I will lose on that trade, but it's essentially insurance. That's what hedging essentially is, insurance against your other holdings. So watching to see if a weekly lower high shapes up on Sol. And the BTC pairing, what stands out to us? The weekly lower high is already set. Higher low every single week pattern broke. Lower high was set at 3.7, dropped down to a lower low. And we're now scouting a daily lower high to be the result of this bounce. So the BTC pairing is already showing us weakness. And now the question is, do the US dollar pairing follow? SHIB, lots of volatility. I'm scouting a 4-hour lower high. So we had a bit of a volume climax and a bit of a double top, fast hard drop. We then had a basing out equilibrium. Again, just such a beauty. Tighter and tighter, whether you're bottom fishing, whether you're waiting for the break, which took place at 222, took place at 2310. Really nice follow through. So I don't care if you like the token or not, it's got a significant amount of trading opportunity. 15-minute RSI, got oversold a few times. The hourly RSI didn't quite get there. Bulls front ran hourly oversold conditions, but it was a massive pullback of 40% that then resulted in a bull move of 40%. So big time volatility bull directions. And when you see big time volatility, generally we scout equilibriums. So high, low, scouting a lower high, potentially being set. And if it is, we'll scout a higher low on the 4 hour compared to 2058. And the BTC pairing is doing something very similar. And the SHIB BTC pairing doesn't come up here, but if you hit enter, it does. So it's lying. But watching for the 4 hour equilibrium there. ADA, it's been a laggard, got a bull break, but was unable to break the second level of 246. The BTC pairing, a weak bounce at this point. We have to see a 4 hour trend change, and it's unable to do so. So it's remaining a lead bear as long as the BTC pairing chart is this beat up. So not going to fall asleep on it, but definitely not a weekly bounce and confidence builder for the bulls at this point. Bull break with a lack of follow through. Are we shaping up? Nah. I was going to keep an eye out for a rising wedge, but I don't see one. But we can keep an eye on this uptrending support line. 246 key resistance. And again, whenever I view altcoins like we just did, I look at it in two perspectives. In my mind, I'm saying, okay, what is this chart likely to do if the Bitcoin bulls keep control and break 56,000? Or what is it likely to do if the more likely scenario for me personally in the short term takes place with Bitcoin daily consolidation? Who's positioned well for daily consolidation? Who is positioned weak? Who's going to be a good target for bears? That's what's always going through my mind. So if I'm favoring Bitcoin daily consolidation 60-40 in this current setup, then I'm looking at, okay, well, if that takes place, who is weaker? And just as an example, for Sol, I'd be keeping an eye on Sol for a weekly lower high, just because the BTC pairing has already shown us weakness. And a weekly lower high is the most likely scenario, in my opinion. So that is the way that I view things. It's always in the context of Bitcoin. What is the most likely scenario for Bitcoin in the short term, in my opinion? And if that were to play out, how are these names positioned well for that? So we'll see how it shapes up, and we will check back in. Don't forget to do good things. Hope you had a good week out there. Still keeping our eyes and ears open for the ETF decisions we've got coming here mid to late October. We've got fresh Tether FUD as the CEO is now deleting his Twitter account as there was speculation that the USD reserves are being used for other investments. And price not really reacting much to that, but that's just what the drama is for the day. All right. Have a great weekend.